This is my third attempt. Hi guys, Songboy13. The last couple of attempts, my face was zoomed in. Such a numpty. And there was a fly in my hand. Anyways, Songboy13 here. It's time for a brand new video out. And also, I did an attempt back on Wednesday, a couple of days ago. But unfortunately, Numpty Kaifer forgot to remove some of the videos off of my camera, and also the camera wasn't fully charged, so I couldn't get a video out. But anyways, this video today is going to be a little bit different to what you've been used to. That's right, this video is going to be, well, it's a bit more personally. It's going to be about where I would love to go to when I officially finish my studies, and of course when the pandemic is well and truly over, because there's an absolute no-go zone for many places this year. But these are some of those mostly cities, but a couple of rural areas or locations I would love to go some part in my life, just to get a lot of experience out of it. It's going to be quite a high number, close to 50, but I'm going to try and get through this video as fast as I can. And at the end, feel free to give your opinions on it, and feel free to do your own versions if you want, because there's not much to do at the moment. So just make it less boring for most of you at the moment, and just get a video out that will entertain you all in some way. So anyways, enough chit chat. We're going to get straight on with the first city. I'm going to be focusing on the UK first. So first up, okay, first city, I'm going to start off in Scotland. I'm not a massive fan of Scotland itself, just my opinion, but there is one city that I'm particularly interested that I would like to visit some part of my life. It's Glasgow. Glasgow, which I know is very, very popular with its agriculture, and of course a lot of famous historic buildings. Not just that, they have got a wide array of varied music. They're very popular with gigs as well. And also, in fact, I believe it is the first European city to reach 1 million people there. To gain 1 million people, so that's what I know about. But I've heard it's a lovely place, probably the best place around in Scotland, and I would hesitate on visiting there. So I have been to Glasgow before, but only been for a day or two. We did a Scotland trip a long time ago, but never got around to exploring the full extent of Glasgow, particularly in the city centre, which I don't think I've been there. So I just thought one day I'd like to just have an explore around and just see some of its culture there. Secondly, Manchester. Manchester is known for, well, a lot of great skyscrapers. Actually, Manchester has got a lot of friendly people there from what I've heard. And of course, they've got a lot of great museums. I've been to Manchester quite a few times. Majority of the times it was when we stay in a hotel or to go to the airport to go out on holiday. I think the only time I've been properly to Manchester city centre was actually way back in 2011. Remember when I went to see the GLS concert there. They were a great boy band. And Manchester's obviously just I've known a great city to be in, and obviously after the terrible event of the 2017 terrorist attack, they just came back stronger than ever, and obviously Manchester would be on my next city to go list. Next up in the UK, just heading a bit southwards, Birmingham. From what I've heard, Birmingham is very popular for its great shopping centres. It's quite a big city as well, quite considerably bigger than Nottingham, and I think slightly bigger than Leicester. But also, what I like to do in Birmingham is to go to Cadbury Worlds. I don't think I've ever been there once in my life. So technically saying that, I might be a bit grown up to going there. I think it's mostly for kids, but you never know. But also, Sealife Centre, that's certainly not, well, it's for everyone really. I have been there once before, a very, very long time ago, on a school trip once. But I would like to go back and visit again, because I think at least 10 years since I've been there. So probably just to go back again and see what's changed, and you know, just to see the scenery of the aquarium, because I think it's one of the best sea life centres in the UK. In Wales, we're going to move to Wales next. There is one city, I think it might be an obvious one, which I would particularly like to visit, is Cardiff. Now, Cardiff is a bit more of a rural area than an urban area. I think that's what it is like in part of Wales, but I would like to go there in Cardiff at some point in my life, just to get, you know, because I've heard they've got great views there. There's tons of countryside visits you can go to. Not just that, Cardiff is very popular with castles, and I wouldn't mind going there at some point in my life. Also, just to get a bit of scenery. It is one of the best places as well in Wales. And then finally in the UK, can't forget the capital, London. Now yes, London has been through a lot of issues over the last couple of years, again to do with terrorist attacks, but obviously it hasn't stopped people from enjoying the tourism events and obviously just to get a lot of scenery around. And I have been to London quite a few times, at least once every few years, and I wouldn't mind going back there again. I never seem to get bored of going to London. I think it's not my most favourite city in the world, I'm going to get to that in just a sec, but London has got a lot of great attractions. The London Eye, the Tower Bridge, the Buckingham Palace, and so on. I think my favourite would be the London Eye. You get to see the whole of the scenery of London there. It is quite busy, I wouldn't mind that, but it's also one of the warmest places in the UK, if you like that kind of theme. But no, London is also known, well, it's welcoming, I think, about an average of 20 to 30 million people, probably a bit less, probably a bit more. It's just an estimation. But yeah, London's got great attractions to look forward to. Next, we're moving on to mainland Europe. Next, Paris. I've never actually been to Paris in my life, but I've heard it's obviously a great city to explore. I can't quite remember every single building name, but I will give it a try. There are definitely a lot of things I would like to experience when I go to Paris, if I ever do go there in my life one day. It's to visit the Eiffel Tower, the Arc de Triomphe, I think that's how you pronounce it, it's French, so I do apologise if I pronounce it wrong. The captions on there, the Monument Building, I think it's called Louvre Museum. I've never heard of it much until the last few years, and it's actually a fantastic museum. And many more to come. But Paris, obviously, a lot of great architecture style buildings, and of course the Eiffel Tower. It's also mostly a very peaceful city. Yes, there was a massive incident back in 2015. Again, I'm not going to just focus on towards it, but it's never stopped people from coming back there, and obviously the French government have been more stricter than ever in making to protect its country. Next, in Belgium, the city that I would particularly like to visit is Brussels. Brussels is very well known for its Atomium Tower. Wasp loved me today. Anyways, Belgium is very well known for its Atomium Tower, which I've not heard much about, but it looks really cool. But also historic buildings, and not just that, Belgium is, I believe that's right, Belgium is very popular for its World War events. I think it's World War One or World War, I think it's World War One, because I've been on a trip to knowing about the World War One events, and France and Belgium were the two countries I went to. But I think I've also went to that museum. It might not be in Brussels, but I think it might be in Praque or somewhere. But Belgium is a great place to go to if you like to know a lot of the historic events that have occurred. Next, we're moving to Spain. There's going to be two places. I'm going to focus on the first one, Madrid, the capital. Madrid is very well known for its fountains and monuments. It's just a bit more of a more relaxed city to go to, especially, well, it can be quite hot and sunny there as well, and sometimes a lot of activities in the heat can be a little bit exhausting. But just having a walk around in the city centre, there's a few shopping centres there, I believe, but even just taking a stroll through the fountains can make it quite relaxing if you especially needed that well-deserved short break, let's say. And the next city, certainly, I think it's my favourite one out of the two in Spain to attend to, is Barcelona. Now, I have been to Barcelona once before. We went on a cruise trip a long time ago, and I wouldn't mind going back there again. In fact, I would love to go back there again. Barcelona is known, well, an artist named Antonio Gaudi. He was very well known for making a incredible display of architecture, like sculpture type buildings. The art is very complex, but yet fascinating to witness through. And oddly enough, I can't remember any of the places, what it's called in Barcelona. I think it's Gaudi Museum, one of them I can definitely remember, but it's very well known for its art, sculpture, and it always makes a bit of a different scenery every year, and I would love to go back there. Next, moving to Germany, my favourite place to go there in that country would be, well, it's only one to be fair, Berlin. Berlin is well known for its Brandenburg Gate, which is a very popular monument in its country. Not just that, it's also very well known for its war memorial. I think it's also to do with the World War offence, where the Germans were fighting the Britons or vice versa, and the Germans lost, and they lost a lot of soldiers during that time, and then life's very different now. But Berlin is certainly one of the places in terms of knowing also his historic moments, as well as Brussels. Berlin is another great city I would like to go to. Next, moving to Italy, there's two. First one is in Venice, and actually I think that would be one of my favourite places. If I ever had to choose a European city to live, you know, throughout the whole mainland Europe, it would be Venice. I've always admired something about that city. They have no roads, they just have canals. They've got a lot of canals, but it's also a very peaceful city. I believe there's not a lot of crime rates going on there, and they've got great restaurants, amazing food. I love Italian food, which I think that's probably why I love about Italy. The weather's always warmer, particularly throughout the summer months. It does rain quite a bit more, but you can get to see some occasional incredible lightning shows. But Venice is a great place. I've been there a couple of days during a European cruise trip also years ago, and it was amazing. Loved every minute of it, and I believe they have some popular water parks there. I can't remember the name of those, but Venice would be my favourite to live in Europe. Another popular city in Italy that I would love to visit some point in my life is Rome, the capital. Rome is very well known for its Colosseum Museum, which there was a long time ago, which was believed there was like an Italian battle. Oh, I don't know much about history, but you know what I mean. It's very well known for those past events there, in terms of a lot of prehistoric fighting events going on. But also, similar with Venice, great foods, love the Italian foods, especially the lasagna and pizzas and the pasta. But also, they've got, you know, a lot of fountains to explore with its historic buildings. And again, similar to Madrid, when you're a hot day, just having a look at it just makes you feel more relaxed. Can't go swimming in them. Apparently you can get in serious trouble from the Italian police if you do in those. Next, moving to the Czech Republic, is Prague. Prague is very well known for its castles and of course famous buildings there. Now, I didn't know much about Czech Republic. It's probably the least, well, I think it's the least known European city I've probably heard of, to be absolutely honest with you. But Prague is obviously a very nice country. The scenery is fantastic there, especially if you're in the countryside. You know, it can take your breath away. But no, I would love to visit some very popular castles there in that city. Next, in Romania, a city I would love to visit there. I think that's how you pronounce it, Bucharest. I think that's how you pronounce it. Bucharest is a little bit more of a ruralish area, not quite as some of the big cities across mainland Europe, but I would love to visit a lot of parks, gardens there. And I've heard from Bucharest, you know, there's got even a lot of some small canals there, which you can even just dip your feet in after a hot day and just take a few minutes to just fully relax. It's also quite hot there in the summer as well, so certainly after a hot day you probably would need it. But I would love to visit Bucharest for those same kind of reasons. Next, now surprisingly, I would like to visit there, even if Russia isn't the safest countries or probably the nicest countries, I'd say. I'm only just being honest, don't get me wrong. But I would love to visit Moscow. Moscow's got some great, you know, gardens and historic buildings. I know Moscow or Russia is very popular for its gardening, and there will be tons of, you know, gardens to explore through, which I know Russians do a fantastic job with. But I would love to visit the Red Square, and I think there's also, you know, a few museums there which you can get to explore through. Recently also Moscow took part in the 2018 World Cup, and it looks really nice there. Obviously travelling can be a bit risky, especially by driving through the Russian area, because there's a lot of accidents there every day. But other than that, I wouldn't mind visiting Moscow at some point in my life. And finally in Europe, in Greece, the city I would love to visit there in that country is Athens. Athens is very well known again for its historic buildings, especially the white buildings there. I've been there once, and you know, didn't really get a chance to have a fully big explore around the whole city itself, because you went on a European cruise trip, you only have that amount of time to go for the most popular ones. But I remembered I think it's called Acropolis, captions on there if it's correct, and obviously it was, you know, when you go to the Acropolis building, it's not a building, it's more of a monument basically. Once you get up to the monuments, you got a whole view of Athens to look around through. Obviously this was believed it was destroyed many years ago from the Greeks or whatever, it was a long time ago. But also they got I've been there once actually, I believe, the Acropolis Museum, great museum. obviously when I was younger, it was a little bit boring, but I think the architecture type of the style of the building was obviously fantastic, and I probably would love to go back there again just to recap on some things that happened in Greece. Europe's done, now it's North America's turn. There's a lot in North America. It is a great country in a way. I'd just love to visit loads of places. First off, in the northwest near the Pacific Ocean is Seattle. Seattle has got, well, it's very well known for its Space Needle, which apparently I think there's a restaurant there. You go, well, if you're certainly not afraid of heights, it's a place you want to be at. Hundreds of feet up, get to, I believe it's a spinning disc which you go around through, well, I think it's a anti-clockwise direction, it might be the way around, don't care. But basically it spins around 360 degrees and so on. It just, you go around, and whilst you're eating you get to see the whole views of Seattle. Not just that, Seattle is also very well known for its pop culture, especially, sorry I got loads of flies in my hand, very well known for its well, you know, pop culture type of its buildings, but also it's very well known for its music. Okay, next up, also in the northwest, San Francisco. I have been there once, and we have actually spent a week there. But we've been there, I think it was Christmas 2012, and we'd love to go back there again. San Francisco now is obviously very well known for earthquakes, but they very rarely occur, and even that, the residents of San Francisco are always well prepared when the events will occur. But also we've got to remember they've got a lot of great attractions to look forward to. Golden Gate Bridge, the Alcatraz Prison, San Francisco Zoo, and also in San Francisco, oh yeah, they've got a great museum there, I can't quite remember what it was called. And also, and I can't remember the name of the place either, but it's got like a zigzaggy street where, I think you'll probably know what I mean when I say it, but yeah, obviously when you go through like a certain part in San Francisco, you just go through a zigzaggy area. I think about 4 or 5 goes to before you get out of the normal street path. Also, it's very well known for trams, and if you don't want to be travelling by car, take the tram. You get to have a more tourism view of San Francisco more easily. Another city in California which I love to visit, and it's actually one of probably my favourites, one of my favourites in North America if I would love to live there, is Los Angeles. It's got a lot of rich houses, a lot of celebrities live there, but also it's a bit similar to Orlando. I'm going to get to that in a minute. Los Angeles is also well known for its theme parks, Disneyland, Universal Studios, Hollywood I think it's called. They've also got a few other events occurring like the Los Angeles Zoo. I'll probably be too long mentioning this, but Los Angeles, nicknamed the City of Angels, is an amazing place to go out. I've never been there, but I've heard it's a, well, surprisingly never been there, but it's what I've heard, it's amazing, potentially once in a lifetime opportunity to go there, because it could be quite an expensive holiday to go to, but it's certainly well worth the views. The views also amazing. Then moving on to Nevada. Now interestingly, we would have been going there this summer. Obviously due to the coronavirus, that's not possible at all. But this year, we would have been going there, but another, well, the city in Nevada, also in the northwest, which I would love to visit. Yep, the city that never sleeps is Las Vegas, or that New York, doesn't matter. So Las Vegas, it's quite obvious, lots of casinos, not just for the adults, but something for the kids as well. They've got amazing hotels, got great shows there as well. Can't rule that out. They've also have like these, I think one hotel has a bit of a Venice style to it, or is it not just Venice? In terms of its canal, where you can just sit through the hotel and you go through like a little stream, through an indoor stream of water basically. But also some parts of Las Vegas has a very universal feel to it, which has a little bit of everything across the whole world in terms of the cities. And we would have been going there this year, such a bummer. Hopefully, fingers crossed, will happen next year. But Las Vegas, I definitely would love going there. Next up in Arizona is Phoenix. Now, yes, firstly, it is unbearably hot in the summer. Actually, having said that, Las Vegas also can be hot. Temperatures in the summer regularly into the 40s. On the plus side, on most days, the humidity is much lower. But I think the same for being Phoenix. It doesn't, although it rains a little bit more in July and August. But if you can cope with the heat, you'll love it there. Phoenix, from what I've heard, is very popular for its deserts. It's got some mountains, basically. You go exploring and then you get to the whole view of Arizona, of not parts of the, well, certainly the whole city of Phoenix close by. But they're also well known for its art museums, and they've got a great one there. I don't know what its purpose of doing this, but I think it's just a wide array of artwork basically. But I think it's more of the architecture type of building. but it's also a pretty quiet place in Phoenix. You know, it's not really urban-like. It's a desert-like city, similar to Las Vegas. But obviously, if you love desert exploring, I wouldn't mind going there once in my lifetime to see what Phoenix is like. Next, moving to Canada, the only place at the moment I would love to visit in that country is Toronto. It's not the capital. I think it's somewhere in I can't remember. I do know other capital cities, but not much in Canada. But what I do know about Toronto, it's got a fantastic CN Tower, a bit similar to Seattle in a way. I don't think it's a restaurant in a way. I think it's just more of a architecture type of building, where it's more of a tourist thing where you can just see the views of Toronto itself. But they've got an amazing CN Tower, very popular also with art museums there as well. Not just that, as well as with Canada, breathtaking views. It's not too far from Niagara Falls as well, I believe. I don't think it's in Canada, but it's not too far off from there. Then moving to Illinois in the state of Illinois, it's the city of Chicago I would love to visit. Very well known again for its sculptures. They've got a lot of awesome skyscrapers there. It's a very, very busy city in Chicago. The popular thing the Chicago has is the Willis Tower. I don't know whether the Trump Tower is based in Chicago, but the Willis Tower is definitely those, and I wouldn't mind exploring them one day. And also, I would love to try those pizzas. Chicago is obviously very popular for it, and I've heard those pizzas in that particular city. Delicious, probably the best pizzas ever in the world. So yeah, that's one of my reasons why I would love to visit Chicago. Another city I would love to visit, it's in Ohio, is Detroit. Detroit is obviously known for zoos, museums, some parks there as well. A little bit more rural than Chicago. Not just that in Detroit, but also in 2024 there is going to be a solar eclipse event. Now, just a brief fact, I've scrapped the 2024 solar eclipse video this year because it took hold right in the middle of the pandemic, so I just thought, give it a miss this year. Obviously I was not in a great mood at the time, but I'm planning to go to North America in 2024, which Ohio is one of the popular cities to go to during that time in terms of seeing the best solar eclipse views, which will be on the 8th of April, and that's what I would love to do there in the city of Detroit. Another city in Ohio I would love to visit is Columbus, very well known for its museums of art, zoos and aquarium. And not just that, again also similar to Detroit, would be another alternative city to go to in terms of witnessing the solar eclipse in 2024. But yeah, heard great things about Columbus, and not just that, I probably would like to learn a little bit more about its history itself. Now, moving on to Missouri is Kansas City. Now, interestingly, it's very popular for tornadoes when it's in the epicenter of Tornado Alley, but still that I would love to visit there, probably to learn a little bit more of an understanding of the climate itself. They've also got great zoos there as well. Next up, Oklahoma City in the state of Oklahoma. Oklahoma is very well known for a lot of brick buildings, and also they've got a lot of historic art museums I would love to go to. And also, I've heard about 2 decades ago there was a serious incident, or a little bit longer, that occurred. I think it was a bombing attack, and I would probably be keen to know a little bit more about the history of that event itself, with the climate, because Oklahoma City is also of the epicenter of Tornado Alley, and they had a major tornado outbreak about 20 years ago as well. So a lot of things have happened in a short space of time, but still love to visit Oklahoma City and just get even more of some knowledge on those two. I would also love to visit Dallas in the state of Texas. Dallas has also got a very popular zoo I would love to go to, museums, art museums as well, also some gardens there. Dallas is a little bit, well, it's kind of city-like, but there's also a great rural part of Dallas which you can get to go explore. So it's very hot though, bear that in mind, in the summertime, but I would love to visit Dallas there for those kind of reasons. Another city in Texas I would love to visit is the capital in Texas, is Austin. Austin is again known for its museums, but they've got a lot of great lakes there, and Texas obviously is quite popular with those kind of lakes. It's a very, very hot state, even if it's not in the summertime. The fall and the spring months can sometimes bring some quite surprisingly hot weather there, and it's very popular for its art kind of style. So honestly, I'd love to visit Austin. I heard it's a great city to be exploring too. And another city in Houston I would love to visit is Houston. Houston is more popular to do with the space kind of world. I'll give you a clue. Houston, we have a problem, or something like that. But Houston is very popular for, I think they've got a lot of rocket launch, which obviously goes in Houston. It's also a very diverse city. It's very welcome to everyone, especially with the recent events of Floyd, which is hometown in Houston. Obviously, Houston wants to make it, you know, a very diverse place to live for everyone, basically, regardless of their own backgrounds, which I appreciate a lot about Houston. They've also got great food. I've heard the burgers are amazing there in Texas, particularly in Houston, which I would love to try out. Just know a little bit more about the space industry, teeny bit of weather as well. But there was something I admire about Houston a lot when I was a younger kid, so that's another reason why I would love to go there and visit that city. Next, in Kentucky, I would love to visit the city of Louisville. Louisville is a bit of a very rural type area with just a little bit of a city itself, or a bit of a town. But Louisville is very popular with a bit of a scenery. They've got a bit of a pier there, a little bit of a mini park, and of course very popular zoo there. But also a lot of great countryside explorers. You can go around visiting the rural state of Kentucky, and especially on nice days, it's worth the visit. Okay, next up in Tennessee, in the capital, I would love to visit Nashville. Nashville is quite popular with museums, but also from what I've heard, they've got great country music. Now, I don't listen to a lot, but it wouldn't bother me to just have a listen through and what those artists deliver through its city and state itself. But obviously Tennessee is right in the centre of delivering very popular tracks. Another city in Tennessee I love to explore is Memphis. Memphis has got a little bit of a more urban feel, but they've got, you know, popular tourists around in the city itself. Not just that, Memphis is very well known for famous music buildings, especially one, I'll give you a clue now, I'll just say out the artist's name, Elvis Presley. I believe he lives in Memphis. He has a very popular home in that same city itself. And not just that, I think it's also, you know, they give a lot of tours out for exploring some of the artists' music homes, or I think not just that, sort of basically there's studios there as well. But it's worth having an explore if you love particularly like music. But I actually wouldn't mind visiting Memphis at all. I heard they've got great buildings there. Next, moving to the state of Louisiana, is the city of New Orleans. New Orleans has got a lot of lakes. They've got a great city style, great sports there, plenty of lakes there as well. They've got great piers. You know, it's near the coast as well, near the Gulf of Mexico. So, and I also think on a hot day as well, just having a breathtaking views around the pier. I think they're popular with boat rides as well. But no, I would love to visit the city of New Orleans. In Georgia, I would love to visit Atlanta, particularly well known for its aquarium. I've heard they probably got one of the best aquariums in the country of the USA. Also very popular with art museums, and especially can get quite hot in summer, so just having a trip to the aquarium, for example, will obviously cool you down and take your breath away. But no, I'd love to visit Atlanta. It's got a great vibe to it for some reason. Almost there now. Now, next up is a city it would probably be one of my favourite cities to live in throughout my life. It's New York. I've been there in October 2015 for a week, and it was incredible. The views were amazing, especially Times Square and Central Park and the New York Zoo were one of my favourite places to go to. There's a few more, but I'll be there all day mentioning it. But New York is an amazing city. It's also the city never sleeps. If you live in the city, it can be a bit loud overnight, so in terms of its cars honking and people obviously attending events and stuff, but overall great city. And obviously, you know, they've also just recently, well, almost 10 years ago to be precise, they've also made a special memorial fence from those who were killed in the 2001 terrorist attack. So but no, I'd love to go there again. If it was a city to live, it would be that city itself. I might do another video on that on another video. Next up in the capital is Washington DC. Very popular buildings. I don't think you can explore the White House. Don't think Donald Trump will let you there. But Washington DC, I would love to visit there. It's a very historic type of city itself, because they've got a lot of those events back. But I would definitely be interested in visiting, I believe it's called the Lincoln Memorial. I believe it was those. Another city I would love to visit there. Also, Washington DC apparently are owned to loads of DC films. Pretty obvious, right? Next, in the state of North Carolina, a bit surprising actually, but I actually would be interested in visiting the town, or actually city, technically speaking, of Charlotte. Charlotte is obviously known for, it's got a water park there, I wouldn't mind visiting one day, with museums as well to enjoy. Not a massive amount there in the city itself, but I think Charlotte's also got like a good vibe to it. I think it's also is a hot place to go to, especially in the summer months. But that's something that reminds me about it. I think they've also got, again, compared to certain other American cities, is the scenery, which I'd love to go to. Next up, Florida. First up, I'm going to be mentioning the place. It would be my all-time favourite place to live there if I ever had the choice, is Orlando. I absolutely love that city. I've said that hundreds of times. It's just amazing. I've been there twice, 2013, 2017, total of 5 weeks, and I wouldn't mind going back there again and again. Great weather, great theme parks, a great style, a fantastic city to be in. Crime rate's quite low there, a few other neighbouring areas maybe a bit higher, but mostly Orlando's a safe place to go to as well. So that's, the food's amazing there as well, can't get me wrong on that. And of course, especially in the summer, if you love storms, yep. This will be my favourite place to go then. It's also very warm all year round, even on some days in the winter you can get temperatures well into the 20s. Worth going there, I love it there. Next, another city in Florida I wouldn't mind visiting. Well, I have been there once, but it wasn't really a full day because we just arrived there and then went to Miami, which I'm going to mention down in just a sec. Another city though we'd love to visit in Florida properly is Fort Lauderdale. I know it's very popular with beaches, great futuristic type buildings. They've got a lot of rich houses there. It's probably, I think, one of the most expensive places in Florida to live there. I might be wrong, but they have got a lot of expensive houses there. That's, like, can't get me wrong on that also. They've also very popular piers. Like I said, main popular thing in Fort Lauderdale is the beaches. And obviously twinning that with that city is Miami. Bit similar reasons, but I think Miami's got more of a city-like. The skyscrapers are amazing. It's obviously hot nearly all the year round. Beaches are so popular there. Got great foods, and they've got a lot of like music events overnight. So it's also part of a city that never sleeps in Miami, basically every single night until recently because of the coronavirus pandemic. But most days, yeah, I would love to visit Miami. Maybe not so much on music events, but mainly on the beaches, and of course every now and again some amazing weather. Okay, there is a city in Hawaii, or I think it's a town, I think it might be a city, but there is a particular location in Hawaii I would love to visit. Honolulu. Those bees hate me today. Honolulu is known for its beaches, but they've also got a very popular attraction called a Diamond Head volcano. Now I believe it's also one of the safest places to go to. They haven't had a lot of volcanic eruptions for at least a century or so. I could be wrong, I haven't checked much, but I do know loads of people go there every year. It's quite an expensive holiday, so you'd be very lucky to book a holiday there for at least 2 or 3 weeks, let alone one. But Honolulu is something I would love to visit and just get some sights around there. There is a city in Japan which I actually would be keen on visiting, is Tokyo. Tokyo is very popular for its towers there. It's also got a little bit of a sort of a Paris-ish feel to the Eiffel Tower, but it's got a bit more of a futuristic feel. Japan is very popular for making anime series, for example Pokemon, certain game consoles, the Wii, which was made, Nintendo obviously most made in Japan, very popular with Mario. Anyways, more on the facts. Popular towers, they've got Disneyland Resort there. Not just that, they've got a great culture feel. They do amazing Japanese food from the herds of it, and I think I've had sushi on a couple of occasions, but to do with chopsticks, not so easy, but I wouldn't mind trying that skill if I do ever visit that city with the country itself. Finally, there's just a few more to go. In Asia, I would also love to visit Singapore. Singapore's got amazing weather, it's humid all year round, but I can stand by it. I think once you get used to the humid weather conditions, you know, it doesn't bother you. Places I particularly love to visit is the Gardens and Marina Bay. It's also one of the richest cities, I believe, or one of the richest cities in Asia to be exploring through. And it's also, the languages, I think, is English there, so it's definitely, well, I think the language is a bit more diverse in a way, basically speaking. So I think more of an international standards. But some odd reason I would love to go there. think the culture seems amazing to go to, and it's just got that futuristic feel all the way. And finally, in the Caribbean, the first, now I've actually been those places, but I wouldn't mind going there again, but a bit more in terms of the activity. Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic. I've heard they've got like a skate park, which is like a water fountain-ish park, with a Bravo beach, I believe. And there was another place, Hoyo, captions on, I have no clue what that is. Well, I don't know how to pronounce it, but I do know they've got like a couple of mini water parks, popular beaches. The beach, I'm going to be honest, we went to a hotel in 2018, wasn't crazy about the beach there, a lot of seaweed, but I think I've heard a lot of beaches in Punta Cana actually do have a lot of clear water, and of course less seaweed in the way, so it makes it much easier to just have a swim through. But I wouldn't mind going back there again. Probably would go to a slightly different place. Resort was great, loved the food. Finally in Jamaica, which we've just been, I think it was on a recent summer holiday last year, Negril in Jamaica. Well, it's got one of the biggest thunderstorms across the whole world. Don't get me wrong, check out this clip. Wow! Yep, amazing lightning. But anyways, not just that, it's got, well, Doon River Falls, been there last summer, it was amazing. I loved every single minute of it, and I wouldn't mind going back there again. And they've got like a Cool Runnings water park there. We haven't been there, but I heard it's a great water park to go to. Not just that, great weather, amazing food. The resort was spectacular. I wouldn't mind going back there again. And yeah, basically, although Jamaica is a bit of a poor country in a way, because it's not got a lot of, well, it's not got a lot of base, let's say for example, rich accommodations apart from the hotels and stuff, but it's a little bit complex to explain. I'm not going to get too much into depth on that, but those are just some of the key things I love to go to in Jamaica. And of course, very popular with its reggae music. And that is it. I think I've did about a 30-minute video, so I'm sorry if it's so long, but I broke these down into parts, so I put them on time frame, so you know, if you just wanted to know which ones you would be interested in, you can click on those. But anyways, that is it for this long video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it wasn't too long for you, but it's just something I just to keep you entertained. And feel free to give your opinions out on where you would probably want to go some point in your life. I've got quite a lot, but yeah, I do. Those are the list of places I would love to visit throughout my life. Anyways, guys, that is it for this video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and Storm is now out.